and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private Everlasting server from the Homecoming cluster. And we are still playing our Scrapper, who is still level 19. We've now finished almost all the story arcs. I haven't got the Clockwork King. I don't know for sure if there's any way to get it at this point. I'm doing the last contacts missions that hasn't given us a story arc. We have almost 1.3 million influence, so when we get to level 22, we'll have no problem. I've got the experience gain, I believe, turned on. Let's check that. Yes, we are earning XP. We're going to just go ahead and do that to level 20. This contact has not given me a story arc, and so I suspect that she won't. Actually, this breakpoint might be the story arc. Let's check that. Let's go ahead and turn the XP off, and let's see if we can do this one mission and maybe get the last XP from her, and then I'll turn it back on. I know I keep saying that, but I really would like to do the Clockwork King, if possible. Now, I don't know for sure if the Clockwork King is something she can give us, because she's having us fighting Tsu right now, but we'll just have to see. Now, if we remember right with the Tsu, these are lower level because I think I got this mission at 18. Or it might be a backloaded mission. We remember right with the Tsu, we have to watch out for using Practice Brawler very strategically and carefully because we want to make sure that we can't get mezzed by the yellow ink men. The sorcerer's also mez. Got him before he teleported. That's awesome. We don't need all these yellow and red inspirations, so we'll go ahead and use them. And there's the sorcerer that we just beat up. You can tell this is going to be a big map because of all the black space here. That's alright. Okay. Another sorcerer and a yellow ink. Alright, we got to get rid of him because he does the big mez. And the sorcerer heals, so you got to watch out for that too. But we can do so much damage to him that... And now with the accuracies going, we should be able to hit the sorcerer some of the time. You can see, however, he is massively debuffing me. And if we look at the 2-hit, as soon as we're done with this, if we look at the 2-hit rolls, right, with the sorcerer, 62% chance to hit, right? 50% chance with Brawl. So Brawl has no slots on it. We know it's got about a 75% chance to hit. So that was a minus 24 debuff. That's why it's so hard to hit them when they've got that hurricane going. I want to move these things over here. Alright. Again, lower level. That's good. Let's see if we can stun him. We did. That's good. Then he won't be able to do anything to us. And then we can just beat these guys up. That looks good. So now if we look at the map here, it looks like this is going to move us deeper in. So I'm going to head to this side. I haven't seen this map in a while. I think this one might go all the way around, actually. We'll just have to see. Stunned him. That's what we want. One more. Come on. Got him before he just as he was teleporting away. Now, one of the things I want you to notice, actually, sorry, a little stuffy this morning. One of the things that I want to mention is if we look at this, right? These guys have mez. These guys actually, the dragon guy has a little bit of a mez. If you want to count the what's the word for it? The caltrops. And so actually a lot of these guys now have buffs, debuffs, slows, and other things. If you think about the way minions work, like with skulls and hellions, they really didn't have much. Maybe some DOTs, right? The bosses, the lieutenants, maybe they had knockdown. But they didn't have a lot of these slows and heals and mezzes and stuff. So as you get into the higher levels, the bad guys start having more abilities, right? Like the sorcerer just healed that guy. It's not going to help him enough, right? But they have these abilities that they can use. He's got this dark thing that's debuffing me probably, or buffing him. And so they have more abilities as you level up, which means your powers have to keep getting better, and that's why they give you the ability to do more mezzing and things like that as you get into the higher levels, right? At first, all we could do was knockback. Now we have this stun, which stacks with this stun, right? So we got a clue. The clue says we recovered these inks and needles from a Tsu tattooing parlor. There's a peculiar scent to them. They're mixed with blood. Yikes. That's kind of gross. So yeah, so the abilities of the enemies get more severe, or whatever you want to call it. They start having more abilities. Alright, well, I'm going to have to hit this guy while the sorcerer goes away and comes back. Sorcerers are a huge pain, because they'll just keep teleporting all over the map on you. See if you can stun him. Got him. Alright, that turns his toggle off. And he's finished. And we're also going to have to start selling salvage, because I'm about to cap out. This is 137. We have 137 out of 150, and I have like only 30 slots in my bank already, so I can only take like 60 more salvage total. Right, so these guys, again, they're minions, but they still have the caltrops and stuff that they can do. Right. They also hit really well. They have some smashing resistance, so you know the bad guys get better and better. And so if your character doesn't get better and better by doing things like getting in enhancements and so on and so forth, and getting the right powers, and if you don't get better as a player and learn how to handle this stuff, you're going to end up face-planting a lot. So the game does a good job of ramping up the challenge as you go. Now why'd I do that instead of going straight in? Well, we have yellow Inkmen there, and a sorcerer, and a yellow Inkman there, and a sorcerer, and minions. So we gotta wait for Practice Brawler, because otherwise they're gonna mez me. It's about to recycle. So now you can see why I am absolutely going to want to have 2 single origin recharge enhancers on here at level 22, and we're probably going to put another slot. We'll see. At 20 I might take quickness if it opens up. I like that because then it would be even to both sides. I mean, I really want to get dodge, which is the passive defense, but quickness is equivalent to having a single origin. Oh look, recharge. No, it's not recharge. That's stun. It just looks similar. Quickness is equivalent to putting a dual origin recharge enhancer on every single power. So then we'll have the equivalent of 2 SOs and a DO on Practice Brawler, and that might be enough to overlap it, at least for now, and then we can put an extra one in later when we have extra slots. Alright, so Practice Brawler. We're going to come on in here and hit the Sorcerer, since we're immune to the mez of the Inkman. Take the Sorcerer out so we can't heal the Inkman, and then we take out the Inkman. There we go. That's not too bad. And 2 Inkmen. Alright. Again, we have Practice Brawler going, so we should be fine. Now, if you have multiple Inkmen, and multiple Inkmen shoot a mez at you at the same time, they can overwhelm Practice Brawler. It is not perfect, right? It's not. See, there's another one here and another one. If all 4 of them were to mez me at the same time, they could overwhelm. I mean, that is very close. Yep, it just overwhelmed Practice Brawler, right? A little bit, right? And that's because I got hit with 3 or 4 mezes at once. So it helps you, but it's not. It doesn't make you completely immune. Right, that's not the way it works. So the way this works with Practice Brawler is it has 6.7 stun protection. So if you look at this power, right, we have a 3 magnitude, right? That's about as high a magnitude, 1, 2, or 3 magnitude. So Cobra Strike is a 3 magnitude, and this one is a 2 magnitude. So if I hit with one of them and it's 2 magnitude, and somebody has Practice Brawler running, you have to exceed 6. So 2 magnitude doesn't exceed 6. If I then follow up immediately with this one, right, while the Thunder Kick stun effect is still active, right, I kick with this one, which does 3, it becomes a 2 magnitude plus a 3 magnitude is 5. You're still not able to overwhelm this. But if then somebody else were to throw the same thing, another disorient, on the foe, right? That would add up to 6 or 7 or 8 magnitude. Then it can overwhelm you. So if you look at what these guys can do, my guess is they're doing either a 2 or a 3 magnitude hold. So 2 of them is 6. That's below 6.7. They haven't overwhelmed it. 3 of them will overwhelm it. And then you will get stunned or held or whatever it is. So it has to be of the same class. So Practice Brawler protects you against stuns and holds and so forth. So let's say 2 of the Inkmen throw a hold on me. That gets 3 to 3 plus 3 is 6. And then 1 Inkman does a stun. I'm going to have a 6 magnitude stun against me and a 3 magnitude hold. It doesn't add, right? Because they're different classes. But if it's the same class, if it does hold, 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 3 of them hit me at once, I will get stunned. So you have to be careful when there's multiple measures. And there is a very high level sorcerer. Oh, cool. So this is new. Not new, but this is something they added to the game. I don't know, in one of the later issues, like issue 3 or 4, where you have these tattoo parlor type sets. Alright, well, I'll fight this guy while the sorcerer is being a pain. Right. And here comes his stupid hurricane. I'm not going to be able to hit him, and then he's going to run around. And he's going to try to get me to go into other mobs and stuff, so you just got to wait for him to come back. And I'm hiding back here so he can't shoot me at range. I'm going to activate the disorient, so if he comes near me, I can try to stun him. Yeah, that was a mistake. He shouldn't have come to me without his hurricane on. Let's get this Inkman over here. So there's one. There's another, right? So he's got 2 things. They're sitting there. If you notice, they're faded and they're on the debuff, the buff debuff bar up here. It didn't do anything to me, but it stayed up there. Now, if more of them stacked up there, eventually it could overwhelm my Practice Brawler, right? But in this case, no, because they didn't hit me fast enough. Right, let's keep fighting these guys because there we go. Come on, get him. There we are. We got him. Now focus chi on this guy. Should be able to hit him in a couple of 3 hits and he's out. Got him. Okay. So now we're going to search for this. No additional clues. Find the last tattooing materials. Okay, now this guy's going to be rough because I don't have any knockback resistance, so I'm going to try to disorient him. We got him. That's good. Smashing resistant, of course. So it takes a lot of blows, and now I'm stunned. Yeah, that's rough. Without, kick him. What is wrong with this? Why is it not kicking him? Jeez. Alright. We got this now. Oh, stunned again. Yeah, we really need to practice Brawler, because these guys all have minor mezzes now, and if you don't have the defense, you're just going to just keep getting stunned and chain held and things like that. So at this point, they get you to the point where you're fighting, and this is the hard part. As you get toward level 20, you need your SOs, and you can't use them. I mean, I could go buy a whole boatload of them now, but I can't use them because you have to be level 22 to use them. Alright. Practice Brawler again. Okay, we took care of him. What's really interesting, and I don't know if this changes in the higher levels, I don't remember. You get a lot of missions at this level with +1, even when you're set to +0, right? We're set to +0. And, like, originally, you know, they didn't have the difficulty setting, so you could see them, like, varying it a lot. But I feel like at least 50%, if not more than 50% of the foes that I have fought are +1, even when I don't have that difficulty setting on. And so you could easily imagine a new player going, why do you even have the difficulty setting? I mean, that's because originally there was no difficulty setting and they wanted to vary the mission difficulty. And so just randomly some of the foes are +1 and some of the foes are -1. But it's definitely challenging for it, and for a new player who doesn't like know how to run all the toggles correctly and things like that, doesn't know exactly how to handle this, you can easily see how somebody would just get killed over and over again in these missions with the +1s, right? Because they're resistant to you. If you're like, if they're resistant to you, you know, for us it's smashing resistance. But you can get killed. I mean, if you're a lethal martial artist, if you're a lethal using lethal like swords, you can get killed against the friggin' clockworks because they have lethal resistance and they suck your endurance down, and then next thing you know, I'm trying to stay out of his cloud because he'll debuff me. Let's see if we can stun him. Nope. You're a pain. You gonna turn that off? Let's see if I can stun him or something. See, you can't even hit because you're down to like 50% chance. And 50% chance in the game seems to mean you hit 10% of the time. Look at this. Against a single sorcerer. So he's debuffing me, minus accuracy. How much minus? Minus 33%. You see that? So, and this is what's strange. So minus 33%. I've got a 41% chance to hit, and I missed 4 times in a row. So these guys are a pain. This is why I've been saying we got to hit them hard and fast and early and just get them, because look at that. One sorcerer took my bar all the way down. Right? Just because they debuff you so much that you cannot hit. Right? So he hit me with 41% chance. So let's see. I hit the sorcerer. Crane Kick had a 26% chance to hit. So that's a huge debuff. Right, it normally has like 75. It normally should have like over 80, right? 80 plus, I don't know, 15% from the DO. So again, you're looking at villains that now can do so much more than they used to. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can get killed a lot, which is what starts happening to a lot of players, right? Is they're fine in the low levels, right? Oh, this game's easy, and then they start fighting the Tsu, and all of a sudden, look at this. I 81% chance to hit, and I missed twice in a row. They start fighting the Tsu. They start fighting some of these other villains at the higher levels, like the Vajaloks, and all of a sudden, they're just getting their butts kicked, and it's because all of these secondary effects, the other villains don't have those, right? And so you're not used to it as a player. If you're not ready for it, if you don't have the right inspirations, you can actually get your butt seriously handed to you in these missions. You've even seen with me, and I know what I'm doing. A couple of times I've come very close to dying, although so far I have not died yet. And most of the time, I come close to dying when I get like a miss streak, you know, right? I miss my 2 big attacks in a row like that, right? And then I just get killed, or nearly get killed, because I can't hit. And that was 3 out of 4 misses right there, right? On 80% to hit. So when that kind of thing happens, you can get really owned. So, alright. So we're moving along here. We're still looking for the last tattoo piece, which is up here. There's got to be somebody else over here. Yep, sorcerer. And he's going to debuff me, which is really annoying. Get him. Got him. So that time I got lucky and I hit with each one of my attacks. There's got to be a boss coming. Maybe this is him. Yep. So we got a boss coming. I am not going to run up that way just because it's too easy to get into a fight over there. Alright. Alright, now we're ready. If you just climb up, they're going to attack you, and I want to be able to know who I want to hit with what. Inkman first. Oh, this guy's going to act like a sorcerer too, I think. We can try to stun him, but see, that's a magnitude 3 stun, and the bosses have like at least the equivalent of practice brawler, so you have to hit with 2 in a row before the stun effect wears off, which I can't do because it doesn't recover enough. Now, it's possible that if you use recharge enhancers on this, right, if you were to 6-slot, which we're going to do, if you 6-slot Cobra Strike, and I put a couple of recharge enhancers and accuracy and a couple of disorient durations on it, it might be that the disorient would last long enough, right? It's a 10-second stun duration on the target, and it recharges at about 10 seconds, right? So just as it recharges, it's wearing off, right? 10.86. I don't know what the 9.44 is. I guess it's a 9.44 seconds. So you hit, it wears off, and then you recharge to hit again. And that's with a single recharge enhancer on it. Oh no, that's endurance. That's the disorient duration on it. Sorry. So if you put enough disorient duration, if you put enough recharge enhancers on it, you can get it to overlap. And then you can do like this, and then you will get more. This is a magnitude 2, so this would be 3, 2, 3, and you'll have a magnitude 8 on the guy. If you can hit it in the right order, you might be able to overwhelm it. But you'd have to build for that, and you would have to be 6-slotted and so forth. So now there's a yellow Inkman here. So we want to practice brawler. Come on. Why is it not back? It says it's back. Come on. So this is server lag, because it's saying it's recharged and it's not. Come on. Alright, so I don't know what to do about this because it's not. This game. Is there a way to switch builds? No. Supposedly, switching builds will fix that bug. I think there's a line command for it, but I don't know what it is. Alright, we earned a badge from, I don't know, either doing damage? Celebrity. Let's see, most recent talk shows are calling you all the time. Commuter? I don't know. Achievement. I don't know what that's for. Gaining influence, maybe? I don't know. Can't be for gaining experience. We haven't done that. So I don't know what that was for. So anyway, the idea is that with the builds, what supposedly happens is when the power has cycled in the UI, and so it's finished cycling, and you click on it and it says it's not cycled yet, that is a bug. It's not supposed to do that. And the nearest I can figure is that is a mismatch between what the client thinks is happening and what the server thinks is happening. So the client knows how fast to recycle these powers, and it tries to do it when it's supposed to, and the server doesn't know that it's time yet, and so there's a disagreement between the two, and that's why you get that error. Now, supposedly what happens in an earlier episode, I made basically a second build that I don't really need, but just to try to address this bug. Supposedly the switching of builds will recycle all the powers, and will fix that. And supposedly there's a line command that allows you to do it, right? But I don't know what it is. You can also like go to Ms. Liberty and do it. Oh, this is all yellow ink, man, so we're gonna have to wait until Practice Brawler recycles again. But you can see this is really cool. This is new. It used to be this was just a warehouse, and you'd click on glowies, but this actually has a really cool, like a statue here that's some sort of a thing they're worshipping, and it has flower pots, and I don't know, this is sort of a weird, so this is Chinese. It feels like this is a weird combo of Chinese and Japanese motifs, but in any case, supposed to be like an Asian theme because these guys are Chinese or Chinese American, and of course they're therefore my arch enemies because my character is Chinese. So Chinese villains are like, she hates them because they're you know, kind of dishonoring her people or whatever. And of course, roleplay wise, what she will maintain is that these ancestor spirits would not be evil, but they've been basically corrupted by the Tsu sorcerers to make them evil. I have to rest here. Yeah, those ancestor spirits do a huge amount of damage. Now that looks like a recharge, which we could put on one of these. Oh, we could put on Practice Brawler. Alright, so now we've got the recharge down from 3 minutes and 20 seconds to 2 minutes and 37, and it lasts about 2 minutes, so we're only going to have to go 37 seconds without it from now on, which is pretty good. Yeah, now see, that can overwhelm me because there's 3 of them. Because they put so many of them on there. What is going on with this? See, again, that's the server lag. See, it's still telling me it's not recharged when it is. Finally. And we've completed the mission. So we don't have any additional clues. Let's head outside to Steel Canyon. So you might wonder that had the instances of Steel Canyon 1 and 3 and not 2. So the way that works is if Steel Canyon's full, it generates a second instance, Steel Canyon 2. If Steel Canyon 2 is full, it generates a third instance, Steel Canyon 3. So now we have 3 instances of Steel Canyon. At that point, if everybody logs off of Steel Canyon 2 and there's somebody in 3 and somebody in 1, you'll end up with 1 and 3. Alright, so let's call our contact. And she says thanks for getting the materials. And we don't have a story arc from her. So I'm going to go ahead and turn leveling back on. Right, we should now be... So we're all the way up to here, so if she had a story arc to give us, I think she would. But she doesn't. What she's got here is 2 councils. I think council doesn't really do a story arc at this level, so... I'm going to end this... Oh, wait a minute, hang on. We've got a damage enhancer. Let's go ahead and use that. Very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. That was a pretty long mission. And I will sell these enhancers, and we'll be back next time. I hope you enjoyed it.